soundbars are the best way to enhance the audio quality of your TV for your large room. They neither cost too much nor take up space, unlike a full-blown 5.1 speaker setup. So soundbars are so good, then the question that has to be asked is, which is the best soundbar to buy under 10,000 rupees? Well, this is Pradeep from TechVisor.com, and in this video we'll be covering Amazon Choice Mulo Arena 5000 soundbar, Mi soundbar, Boat Avante 1500 soundbar, and just to see how good Dolby Atmos is, Zebronics Zouk 9700 Dolby Atmos soundbar. With that out, let's get to the video. The Mulo Arena 4000 is the cheapest option in this range. It will be going on for sale for probably 3499 INR. Before we get to the video, in case this is your first soundbar, this is what you should expect inside the box. First up, there's the soundbar itself. You may or may not get a subwoofer on this list, except the Mi soundbar. All the other three come with a wired subwoofer. Depending on the connectivity options of your soundbar, you might get an aux cable, optical cable, RCA, or even an HDMI cable. You also get a wall mount with all the soundbars. Yes, all these soundbars can be easily wall mounted. You get screws and installation instructions with them. You would just have to get the screws dealt. There's also a remote with the soundbars, except for the Mi one. This helps you control the soundbar audio control and equalizer options. Moreover, you also get two AAA batteries as well, unlike your smart TV. Now, the Mulo speaker is a 2.1 channel soundbar, meaning there's one left and one right speaker on the soundbar. Additionally, you also get a wired 25 watt small subwoofer with it. It's great to get a subwoofer at this price range. In case you have space issues with your TV cabinet, the Mulo ones would fit quite well compared to the other ones. It's about 70 centimeters in length and 7-8 centimeters in width. Now let's talk about connectivity. The Mulo soundbar can connect to your TV in two ways, Bluetooth and aux cable or RCA. You get aux cable and RCA cables to connect your TV, DVD player, etc. There isn't much difference when you connect via RCA or aux cable. Aux is pretty easy, hence I would recommend you connect the soundbar via aux cable. If you connect it via Bluetooth, it might look good, but latency does creep in when watching videos online. Like if you're watching movies over Netflix or Prime Video, there will be a slight audio delay and lip sync issue from time to time. The audio output was found to be similar via both aux and Bluetooth. Talking about the real deal, sound quality, well, it's what you pay for. It's fun to watch movies with every punch, slap and gunshot effect. Emphasize, it's not the loudest soundbar, but loud enough to cover a small room easily. I really liked watching IPL on it. Next up, we have the popular Xiaomi Mi soundbar. First of all, this looks really good. I mean, aesthetically, it's the best looking soundbar. Mostly, it's a plastic build, but you have this fabric mesh over the speakers. It really looks premium. Additionally, there's no logo on the speaker mesh, so if you put it up with a pastel or yellow wall, it will look minimal. Now, Xiaomi advertises it to have a 8-speaker setup, but in reality, it's just 2 left and right tweeters and subwoofers with 4 passive radiators. So it's just 4 active speakers. In terms of sound quality, the subwoofer within the soundbar is not that impactful like Mulo or Boat. However, the vocals are pretty clear. The clearest so far compared to all other soundbars. But do I recommend it? No. There are a lot of problems. The SPDIF port doesn't work with Mi TV, so you have to connect it via aux. So the audio output is not that great. For better audio output, you should use an optical cable, but Xiaomi's own Mi TV doesn't have an optical port. Next, it doesn't have a remote, so you have to walk up to the soundbar every time to change the audio channel and even the volume. Tedious. So if you just need a good looking soundbar to pair with your TV over Bluetooth, then the Mi ones are a great option. Next up, we have the Boat Avante 1500 speaker. It's priced at around 8,000 INR, but you should get a better deal during the sale. I really recommend the Boat Avante 1500 for two main reasons. One, HDMI port. Two, subwoofer quality. The Boat Avante soundbar has an HDMI ARC port. It doesn't come with an HDMI cable, so you will have to buy one. You should connect the soundbar's HDMI ARC port to your smart TV's HDMI ARC port to have the best sound quality. Make sure your smart TV has an HDMI ARC port. Once you do that, your TV remote can control the volume of the soundbar, which gives this soundbar remote a rest. The remote is built of cheap material, so handle it with care. The soundbar supports 2.1 channel. I think it has 2 active speakers and 2 passive radiators, so overall 4 speaker drivers, and oh my god, it does sound loud. Here, have a look at the audio quality side by side with the rest of the 3 soundbars. Like, it can easily cover your hall area of about 1000 square feet. We watched the entire season 1 of Mirzapur on this because, hey, we are hyped, and it sounded great. We had no problems picking up the dialogues, and the sound effects were really good and crisp. The subwoofer is a 2-way sounding subwoofer. It can send effects sideways and even bounce off audio from the wall towards you. Just make sure when you place the subwoofer, you keep about 30 to 40 centimeters distance between the subwoofer and the wall. Next, we have the Zebronics Zouk 9700 Dolby Atmos soundbar. Usually, if you have to build a Dolby Atmos setup, it's important to have ceiling or tower speakers to have the actual sound effect over your head. The Zebronics 9700 has 2 upward firing speakers that can bounce off the sound from the ceiling to simulate the tower speaker effect. It's a huge 300 watt soundbar plus a 2D 150 watt subwoofer. Now, this is my first Dolby Atmos soundbar and it costs around 17,000 INR. So I was really excited to check out the Dolby Atmos setup. Now, as complex as it is to understand Dolby Atmos, it's complicated enough to set up as well. So 3 things you should know while setting up Dolby Atmos with this particular soundbar. First, no, it's not required for your TV to have Dolby Atmos in order to use a Dolby Atmos speaker. Second, you would have to use Netflix 799 top tier plan to enjoy Dolby Atmos because Dolby Atmos content is quite limited. Third, your TV needs to have an eARC port. Dolby Atmos won't work over ARC port. Let me brief you about the third point. If your TV, for instance, this MI TV has an ARC port, so it cannot output Dolby Atmos from there. It doesn't have the encoding to process Dolby Atmos. Hence, if you connect it directly to the Zebronics soundbar, it will display a 5.1 channel at max. So the workaround is to connect a Fire Stick to the Zebronics soundbar, pass an HDMI 2.1 cable from the HDMI ARC port of the soundbar to the TV's HDMI ARC port. This is called HDMI pass-through. So should you buy this? Well, if you have a Fire Stick 4K lying around and a smart TV with this soundbar, well. So to summarize the entire video, the Mulo soundbar at 3,499 is a cheap deal. You would have to use 2 remotes, but it would really enhance your smart TV's audio quality. We also recommend the Boat Avante 1500 in case you want to experiment with Dolby Atmos and you know what you're getting into. Give the Zebronics 9700 a try. On that note, this is Vidhi signing off. Subscribe to TechVisor. See you soon.